Dear students, now we will see what kind of the roles a social worker has to play while providing the services. A professional social worker has to play multifarious dynamic roles, and this diversity of social workers' roles provide opportunity for a great deal of creativity in the social work profession and practice. The different roles played by a social workers include the roles like the role of advocate. In this role, social workers fight for the rights of others and work to obtain needed resources by convincing other privileged segment of the society for the legitimate needs and rights of deserving member of the society. Social workers are particularly concerned for those who are vulnerable, disempowered, left behind segments of the population, segments of the society, and who are unable to speak up for their rights and who can raise their voice for themselves. So, social worker plays the role of advocate with the goal of empowering the client. The social worker speaks on behalf of the clients and talks for the rights of the client when others will not listen or when clients are unable to speak for themselves. Advocacy can occur on the local community level, local level, state level. Some social workers even are involved and raise the voice for their clients on international level and are involved in international human rights movement, and they do advocacy for those who are in need. Another significant role which is performed by the professional social worker is the role of case manager. Case managers are involved in locating, helping services, and assisting their clients to access those services which are important for their clients. Case management is especially important for complex situations and for those who are homeless or senior citizens and have chronic physical or mental health issues like disabled, victims of domestic violence or other violent crimes, or like vulnerable children. Another role of social work practitioner is the role of broker. In this role, a social worker is responsible for identifying, locating, and linking clients to needed resources within a time framework in a timely manner. Once the client's needs are assessed and potential services identified, the broker assists the client in choosing the most appropriate service option and assist in negotiating the terms of service delivery. In this role, the social worker is also concerned with the quality, quantity, and accessibility of the services as well. Social work professionals do not simply provide information, they also follow up to be sure that the needed resources or the required services are attained by the client. This requires to know the resources, where the resources are, and what is the eligibility requirements, what is the fee structure, and what is the location of the services and the resources which are needed by the clients. Social workers has to play the role of educator as well, because the social workers are often involved in teaching people about their problems and about the real diagnosis of the social problems and suggesting them a real treatment for the solution of the problems. So social workers teach people about resources available within the community, within the society, and how to develop particular skills such as budgeting, the caring discipline of children, effective communication, service availing mechanism, the meaning of a medical diagnosis, and the prevention of the violence, from where they can seek help, and how can they meet the eligibility criteria to avail the various welfare services. Social workers have to work also in the role of facilitator. In this role, social workers are involved in gathering and facilitating individuals, groups of people, community people, for a variety of purposes, including community development, self-advocacy, political organization, and they work for policy change. Social workers are involved as group therapists and task group leaders as well. Another role of social worker is to work as organizer. Social workers are involved in many levels of community organization and social action, like economic development, union organization, social research, and policy formation. When we see at the role of social worker as a manager, we see that social workers, because of their expertise in a wide variety of applications, are well suited to work as managers and supervisors in almost any setting in the field. As managers, they are better able to administer institutional social welfare services, to influence policy change and for development, and to advocate on a larger scale for all unprivileged people and the less privileged sections of the society. So far as the role of social worker is concerned in the form of counselor, that is another important role the social workers perform as counselor. In this role of a counselor, the social workers helps client to express their needs and to clarify their problems, to diagnose their social issues, and also to explore solution-oriented strategies, and also applies intervention to develop and expand the capacities of the client to solve their issues in more appropriate manner. A key function of this role is to empower people by affirming their personal strengths and their capacities, their potentials to deal with their problems more effectively. Social workers also play their role of mediator. In this mediator role, the social worker intervenes in disputes, in conflicting situations between parties, between different individuals, between different groups, and in a community setting as well. And social worker help them to find certain compromises for the collective benefits and to resolve the individual conflicts and to reconcile differences and to reach mutually satisfying agreements. The mediator takes a neutral stance among the involved parties between the client and the agency, between various groups in the community, and tries to resolve the controversies and the conflicting situations among the various individuals, among the various groups, and within the community. And the social worker tries to resolve the issues which are raised on the basis of the interest of different groups, on the basis of caste, creed, color, and religious conflicts in the community. The social worker performs the role of mediator. Then a very significant role of the social worker is to be a researcher. In the researcher role, a social worker evaluates practice interventions and evaluates program outcomes. The researcher critically analyzes the literature, data on social issues, and uses this information to amend the course of social action. And this kind of data is used to make the new plans for the welfare activity, to bring a change in the already existing social welfare programs, or to introduce a new social policy in the society. So a social worker conduct research about different social issues and collect data, and on the basis of the gathering facts, suggest certain measures for the solution of the social problems in the society. A researcher extends and disseminates knowledge and seeks to enhance the effectiveness of social work practice. And as a researcher, social worker also works to enhance the body of knowledge of social work profession. Social workers' basic role is to be community change agent, and social workers are said to be the change agent who are going to bring change, introduce change in the society. As a community change agent, the social worker participates as part of a group or organization seeking to improve or restructure some aspect of community service provision. As change agent, working with others uses a problem-solving model to identify the problem, solicit community input, and plan for change. A community change agent acts in a coordinated manner with the community people to achieve planned change in a short span of time with the minimum resources. And the social worker introduces this change at multiple levels that helps to shift the focus of institutional resources to meet the identified goals and objectives of any welfare program. To bring awareness, collective consciousness, development, growth, and prosperity, the social workers have to work as community change agent.